All right, you guys, happy Thursday. Fun little update for you. When the clock struck midnight last night and Cinderella's carriage turned back into a pumpkin, Turning Point USA decided it was a good time to issue a confirmation plus an ultimatum, a time and a date for our debate. I should tell you that they did not send me an email, they did not send me a text message, they did not coordinate anything with me. They simply made this midnight announcement and gave it a countdown. Got 24 hours to respond. So we're going to discuss that. And let me just tell you, Turning Point is so done after this. You just cannot survive being this disingenuous. We also are going to get back into the Egyptian plains today. They are also working very hard to try to convince us that that was nothing. That's just what Egyptian military planes do. Fly around the skies in the middle of Provo when Charlie Kirk is being assassinated. Well, it turns out maybe these planes might be the key to everything, not nothing. Welcome back to Candace. I feel like I have to ask this question on behalf of the entire world. What the hell is going on at Turning Point USA? What's going on? I want to know what is happening over there in Arizona. Who is in charge exactly? Who is making the decisions? Who is calling the shots on all of these terrible and extremely obvious PR moves? Just, I think we all deserve to at least know what's going on. It feels like this company is going to turn into Enron, right? Amazing, and then just plummet overnight. I have just, the lack of transparency and also, ironically, the transparency of the things that they are doing, you can't make this up. They are just so obvious, so obviously trying to hide something. Before we get into their frankly bizarre late night tweet and ultimatum, I wanted to update you guys and let you know that Cam Higbee, remember that weird propagandist reporter who goes to the Pentagon press secretary and is like, don't laugh. Okay, right? Don't laugh. And then proceeds to ask if they heard about France's assassination attempt on my life, which I also said that France was on the ground on the day that Charlie was assassinated. Yeah, this Cam Higbee, take a listen.
As well.
Yeah. So this is my first question, and don't laugh. Does the DOW have any evidence at all of a French military plot to assassinate Candace Owens?
That is an interesting question. Not that I'm aware of, but, interesting question. I can try to find out and maybe let you know. I think that might be more of a law enforcement matter, though.
So I brought that up because it was just so propagandist, so in our faces. I obviously did not think that this was going to lead back to Turning Point USA, but little did I know that we can add Cam Higbee onto our list of brand new. Everyone was just so brand new on that day. Everyone was so brand new leading up to Charlie's assassination. Well, Cam Higbee is on the payroll of Turning Point USA beginning in August of this year. So in theory, Cam Higbee, who was laughing off the idea of an assassination attempt, is being paid by the very organization that just had its leader assassinated in broad daylight in front of the entire world. I find that to be interesting. Who directed him to ask that question? I'm just asking questions. But first, after my episode yesterday, I expected, call me crazy, I expected that Turning Point would reach out to me via text, via email, that they would instantly follow up with their long diatribe and to be sincere and say, okay, here are some dates and some times. When would you like to make this happen? We're going to set up this great debate. Rather, instead of hearing anything from Turning Point, I heard from Skylar, my executive producer, this morning via text, which I'm going to show you, that I was somehow already 9 hours into a 24-hour countdown that was issued by Turning Point USA. Here is that text exchange with Skylar this morning. He, 8:49, said, I'm sure you saw this. And I responded to him and I said, no, actually, I didn't see this. And I opened the tweet, which went out from Blake Neff around midnight last night. And here's what he wrote. I'm like, how am I supposed to see this? The live stream we announced on the show Wednesday has been set. That would imply to the audiences that they reached out to me and we set a time. No, he goes on at 4 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. local time on Monday, December 15th. A collection of Charlie's friends will respond to statements made by Candace Owens to set the record straight once and for all prior to the opening of America Fest. Now, if it's going to be once and for all, it sounds pretty final. I mean, I would assume that I would have to contribute so that I could answer back, right? He goes on to write, we'll be live streaming, as he said from the beginning. This is going to be a live streamed event from Charlie's Phoenix studio. Our offer from yesterday holds. If Candace wishes to join us in person in Phoenix, she is welcome to do so. She can let us know by the end of today. Why? Well, I'm sorry. If you're saying this is happening on the 15th, why am I getting 24 hours to be able to respond to you? That doesn't make any sense. That, for some reason, feels like this is a BS offer and a really cheap PR move. There's no reason to issue a 24-hour response and to put this up in the middle of the night, A. B, there's no reason you didn't reach out to me and say, hey, does this work? Can I check some flights, see if I can get in there? Nope. This is it. They put this up there on the 15th. The last week of our show is live. Obviously, leading up to Christmas, that's the last week of our show. Obviously, it's a pretty busy week. So I'm like, okay, caught off guard by this, but you know what? I sense this is a PR move. So let me say, you've already said it's live streamed. If an event is live streamed, of course, we can make it work any place. I mean, at any time, any day, we can make this happen, right? Because you're live streaming it. There's no reason I can't show up electronically, okay? I respond to him and I say this, kind of weird how you didn't email or call me to ask about times or availability and instead chose to tweet this confirmation out at midnight. Why am I learning about this on X? December 15th does not work in person, and 2 p.m. happens to also be the literal time that I do my podcast live every day, which you knew, but we will happily cancel the daily podcast and we'll join you guys virtually instead for the live stream on the 15th. If that works on your end, let's lock it in, ? Okay, we're jumping here. Let's just make it happen, okay? That's the beauty of the internet. That is the beauty of 2025. You can literally be any place, anytime. Just send me a link, right? Any place, anytime, and we can join you virtually. In fact, today on their show, they had Andrew Colbert joining them virtually. So they have the tech capability to do this. We have tech capability to do this. Let's make this sincere and do this for people around the world who do not feel that you guys have been honest and forthcoming in terms of answers that you could obviously supply regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination. Well, if we needed any more evidence that nothing that they do is genuine and that this was an obvious planned PR move, here is what Blake tweeted out just now before we went live on the show. Yesterday, we made it clear that we would be scheduling a formal response to allegations and accusations that you have made. We have decided that that response will be delivered during a live stream, as he said, a live stream, on December 15th. Thank you for your response, letting us know that you will not be joining the in-person conversation. We will be proceeding without you. Why are you proceeding without me? To have a conversation that is about me. Why am I getting 24 hours to respond? Why do you need me there in person if you are trying to be sincere and answer the very many questions that I have brought up on this show? You guys weren't even sincere in what you said yesterday. You told some glaring lies about things that I have said. So we're supposed to trust that you guys are going to handle this discussion all by yourselves and respond to any and every allegation. And this isn't just some planned PR for once and for all. Like I said, this is so obvious. He is being completely destroyed in the comments because what's happening at Turning Point, and I've seen this happen before, is they now believe that they are smarter than their audience, right? They think they are smarter than their small pocket donors. They can pull such an obviously crappy public move like this and pretend, well, we tried. You know, she said she could make it work and we tried, but it has to be physically, she needs to be in person, even though we have shown that we have people join us not in person and it's live streamed and we both have the tech capabilities to do that. If she doesn't make this work within 24 hours, we can now say that it's on Candace. This is a disaster, okay? It is a dumpster fire. That's the only way to describe what is happening at Turning Point USA today and right now is a dumpster fire. Everyone can read this for what it is. As I said, they are getting destroyed in the comments. Like, really, guys? Really? You're not going to just send us a simple live stream link and let us join you? We've had people on this show live streamed. We could have them tomorrow. I said, in response, I said to them, I'll make this work. I also attached to that tweet any day leading up to the 15th. We can do this virtually any place and any time. But no, they need to have it in person in Phoenix on December 15th, or they cannot have me at all. Is that passing the vibe check for you guys? Or does it seem like more posturing and more of a way for them to simply be in the room with themselves as they all lie without any person in the room to be able to fact check those lies, who have researched those lies and who have kept a list regarding the very many lies they are telling, okay? I maintain that Turning Point is engaged in a cover-up. That is how I feel, okay? And like I said, it pains me to say that because this was once a bright spot in the conservative movement. It is no longer. They are using left-wing tactics, calling us names rather than answering us questions. It's everything Charlie stood against, okay? You don't need to call somebody a racist because they're asking questions about what happened with George Floyd leading up to his death, okay? That is a way that you skip over having to debate logically, is you name call. All Blake Neff did was name call yesterday. All the pastors have been doing. It's demonic, it's possessed, it's evil. How about you simply answer the questions and stop behaving like you're a radical leftist? Everyone can see what you're doing. That's what I want you guys to know. It's very clear, okay? I'm not asking people to defend me. You are just genuinely this transparent. So I am sorry that I cannot arrive in person because it's our last week on air before the holidays. I am still very happy, and I will say it again, to make that date and time and place because I'm here and we have the technological capabilities to make it so, make it work. We can move it around and we can do it even at midnight. I will stay awake and I will make that work for you at midnight, anytime. Just send me a link. In the meantime, we are just going to start investigating harder because you're not acting right, okay? You guys are not acting right, and you are not going to be able to get yourselves out of it by trying to be tricky like that. And like I said, the fact that you mentioned the Egyptian planes so many times yesterday without providing a valid answer or reason as to why we should just ignore military planes that are circulating that don't belong to our country, we're going to stay focused on that. And guess what? We have some more explosive revelations, which lead to more questions, which should be answered. And by the way, Turning Point, you should be concerned about. How odd, guys, that they're not concerned about the Egyptian planes. They don't even know how to feign concern. They don't even know how to sell to us in their best acting that they care about what transpired on that day. If you wanted to act like you cared, you would go, yeah, no, that is actually weird. I wonder what those planes are about. Instead, they're like, ha, 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 Egyptian planes. What we've had to endure this crazy talk about these Egyptian planes. You should be concerned. And I'm going to give more cause for concern, okay? Because as you guys will recall, 2 Egyptian planes, got it. For the sake of ease, we've labeled one blue, that's SUBND, which was the one that was transponding on the ground at Duncan Aviation on the day of Charlie's assassination, but it did not go anywhere. And then, of course, our now infamous yellow plane that carried on to Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware that morning, and has seemingly panicked the world, right? I'm reminding you that that flight from Provo to Delaware on the yellow plane had only 4 people on board, okay? So that plane pretty much emptied out and then had only 4 people, one of which was a foreign dignitary. Now, one of those individuals I can confirm was using the name, and when I say using the name, we are dealing with governments, we are dealing with power, and these people just print passports, okay? These are obviously dead ends. But the name that one of those individuals was using is Waleed Mahmoud, okay? Waleed Mahmoud. So we now know that of the 4 people that flew to Delaware, someone flew using the name Waleed Mahmoud, okay? Here is where it's going to get interesting. And I don't know if we can show that name, Chris, if we have that, but we can spell that out for them. I don't know if we have a graphic for that. But here's where it gets interesting, okay? Waleed Mahmoud had been in Provo before, okay? Specifically, Waleed Mahmoud came to Provo on May 27th of this year. Waleed Mahmoud came in, and we can also confirm that if you look up the plane that he was on, there is no transponder data which reflects that trip. He was not on the yellow plane. This is what's very interesting. He was aboard another Egyptian military plane, and the tail number for that plane is SUBTU. We're going to make that the purple plane, okay? Purple plane was not there on the day of Charlie assassination, but we now have a person that was on that purple plane at the end of May, and then he is going to be on that plane again on the day of Charlie assassination, both times in Provo. And we can drop that now into our timeline, okay? May 27th, SUBTU flies into Provo with Waleed Mahmoud aboard. Maybe it's a pilot, I don't know. Then we've got it departs on June 2nd, and it is not transponding, okay? So you cannot find a record of this on flight radar. Now, why is this compelling? Why is this especially compelling? Because the purple plane, SUBTU, as has been recently discovered by the work of other people, was once upon a time flown with the president of Egypt aboard. And by once upon a time, I mean back in 2023. This tweet came from Project Constitution. I'm going to read it in its entirety, okay? Confirmed. Candace Owens just got vindicated again. The Egyptian government website confirms that Egyptian President El-Sisi flew on SUBTU. Remember when Candace Owens dropped that bombshell exposing that Egyptian presidential plane as the mystery bird tied to those shadowy flights? And just, he's confusing BTT. He's talking about BTU. We were always talking about BTT. Well, official receipts just landed straight from the Egyptian presidency website that on April 3rd, 2023, President El-Sisi touched down in Riyadh aboard that same exact aircraft, tail number SUBTU, for a high-level sit-down with the Saudi Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, okay? So BTU. And again, he's mixing it up with BTT, but we can now connect these two planes. Now, before you jump to conclusions and go, well, does this solve this? Does this mean that this was the Egyptian president on board? No, we can actually officially rule out that it was President El-Sisi that was aboard the jet on September 10th because he was photographed at a meeting with the Prime Minister of Tunisia, Sarah Zafrani, and it was in Egypt. We can also rule him out as having been the individual that was in Provo back in May because he was, again, photographed multiple times throughout that week in Egypt, okay? What we can, however, deduce is that Waleed Mahmoud is therefore not the president of Egypt, but he is almost certainly well acquainted with the president of Egypt because planes that fly presidents around, military planes, you're not going to just, let just some random wealthy Egyptian aboard your jet, right? This person is going to be well acquainted with the president of Egypt, okay? So who is Waleed Mahmoud? Who is the person using the name Waleed Mahmoud? That is the question that we are left with. Now, again, maybe Waleed is the pilot. That could make sense. But what was he or she doing in Provo at the end of May and into early June? These are questions and honestly concerns that shouldn't be expressed by me. It should be expressed by every single person at Turning Point USA who is interested in getting to the bottom of who assassinated Charlie Kirk. It should be expressed by our government. It should be expressed by the Pentagon and their giggly press secretary and press members. We should be asking this question. Instead, we're just being gaslit. Everything was so above board on the day of Charlie's assassination that they just can't answer anything. They just cannot answer a single question that we have, and they can't explain why they keep getting caught in little lies. They can't explain that. We're just all ridiculous, and we're harming Charlie's legacy by doing the very thing that Charlie was doing when he died, right? He is responding to questions. He literally died answering questions from people that disagreed with him. And they're now trying to invert reality and make it seem as though asking uncomfortable questions is not something that Charlie would have done. Pointedly ridiculous. And again, ever so transparent. Anyways, I don't think they're going to be laughing long because I do think that we are getting close. We're going to take a brief break and get to some sponsors. All right, you guys, this holiday season, express your love with a very special gift of premium steaks from Riverbend Ranch. Their holiday bundles are only available while supplies last, and they're going to go pretty fast. You can order your holiday gifts today at riverbendranch.com. And if you haven't yet tried Riverbend Ranch steaks, it is time that you definitely did. I have never had a better steak in my entire life. For the last 35 years, Riverbend Ranch has been creating an elite Angus herd by using ultrasound technology to select genetically superior cattle with a focus on flavor and tenderness. They only use the top 1 or 2% of the entire Angus population as their breeding stock, which produces beef that has much more flavor and tenderness than your average Angus beef. Each steak is aged to perfection for 21 days. All Riverbend Ranch cattle were born and raised right here in the USA. They never use growth hormones or antibiotics. And the beef is processed right at the ranch in their award-winning USDA-inspected processing facility. So you avoid the costly middlemen because the beef is sent directly from their ranch to your home. And I love supporting American ranchers. Right now, when you order from riverbendranch.com and use promo code Candace, you'll get $20 off your first order. That's riverbendranch.com with promo code Candace. Also, want to tell you guys about Dose because the modern day diet is taking a toll on all Americans. Processed foods, hidden ingredients, sugar in practically everything. We are seeing liver health concerns rise in the U.S. because of this. And there is one trusted solution out there that I trust to take care of my liver health, and that is Dose. Dose is a powerful, all-in-one wellness shot that helps support gut health, immunity, energy, and all the stuff that really matters when you don't have time to slow down. And let's be honest, when you have a big and busy family, slowing down is not always an option. It takes me literally 5 seconds in the morning, and I feel the difference all day long. Their best seller is Dose for Your Liver. It was formulated to cleanse your liver of unwanted elements, aid digestion, and maintain your body's filter. Dose's clinical results showed lowering liver enzyme levels by 50% in most of their participants. One shot of Dose for Your Liver is equivalent to 17 shots of turmeric juice. Dose is gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, and it's vegan. Stick with Dose and you will feel the incredible benefits over time, which will have more energy, better digestion, reduced bloating, healthier liver enzyme function, plus reduction in brain fog and better sleep. New customers can save 35% on your first month of subscription by going to dosedaily.co/Candace. That's dosedaily.co/Candace for 35% off your first month subscription. But again, I like to stress to Turning Point USA that if you want to make this work, we can do this today, we can do this tonight, we can do this at 1 a.m., we can do this tomorrow, the next day, we can do this through the end of the year. Anytime, okay? Just send me a link and we will appear virtually, which is entirely plausible. This is something that we desperately want. We are incredibly committed and sincere in wanting to get answers. We do not believe the official narrative. I've made that clear. And we do not understand why you guys seem to be trying to protect the official narrative as opposed to joining us in prodding it, okay? I am just saying how the entire world feels. I'm giving voice to how the entire world feels outside of your donor class. Anyways, it's pretty obvious the call went out. Again, this was some sort of a PR maneuver. That's why they're sending out Cam Higbee. They're laughing at everything that we say, everything that we do. That's kind of their new shtick is like, we're the cool kids. We're just going to laugh at you, you know? Trying desperately right now, clearly, to turn my very real claim that the country of France tried to assassinate me into a joke. The Zio influencers are supposed to influence people into thinking that that is just so crazy and funny. It's so funny. And hopefully with enough of them going out and making videos and peddling the same talking point and trying to turn it into like a cultural joke, you're supposed to ignore the fact that, hey, isn't it kind of strange that neither the White House or the Élysée Palace or even the United States Pentagon has formally denied this quote unquote crazy claim. That's what Hollywood's for, right? You, all of you at home, all across the world, you're supposed to be fat and dumb and easily influenced by celebrities. Because, like, don't you have any famous friends? Does Candace even have any famous friends? Like, don't you want to be cool? Don't you want to hang out with famous people? Famous people say that assassination attempt is just funny. That's just like an SNL bit. Anyways, the always relatable Ben Shapiro is trying his luck at humor as well regarding my assassination attempt. He appeared on Greg Gutfeld's show, and he decided to promote his appearance with a little jab. Take a listen to Ben.
As you can see, I'm sitting in Greg Gutfeld's seat. But why, you ask, would this be happening? The answer is I called French intelligence, and something may or may not have happened to Greg.
It's hilarious. Laughing about actual violence is apparently hilarious so long as it comes through in the context of humor. All is fair in love and laughs. And Greg Gutfeld, after all, is a comedian, so they're not being tribal at all. They're just being funny. Remember, I don't make these rules. I just follow them. And so I'd like to show you another comedian from my tribe. His name is Ace Smart, and he's going to make a funny too. And remember, it's never violent as long as we're telling jokes and it's said in front of a comedian. Take it away, Ace Smart.
No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problem.
I wonder if I slap the out you, would that be anti-Semitic? Because I don't want to be anti-Semitic. I just want to slap the out you. Shut the up. I'm so sick of you cornball ass trying to stay relevant in front of that podcast equipment. Shut the up. You want us to go to work and grind for the rest of our life while you sit in front of the thing and sound intelligent? Shut the up. I speak for everybody that ever woke up on a Monday morning. Shut the up.
Passionate, hilarious, relatable. It's funny. As long as it's a joke, it's funny, right? French people colluding to assassinate people is very funny. French intelligence. Ha 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 ha. Anyways, more to this PR effort to, I don't know, suspend rational thinking, I think. Maybe they have worked so hard to poison us over decades and to dumb us down in the classroom that they're testing. They're seeing right now if they just keep repeating things over and over again, if we will just suspend our rational thinking altogether and follow them. I think that's it. That's what it must be. And Frank Turek has come out and he's telling us that Blake Neff, we should, even though he seems very insincere, you should know that Charlie told Frank, that actually Blake Neff is the smartest man that he knows. Trust the science. Take a listen.
The night before Charlie was murdered, and I'm not just saying this, but I went into his office. This was after we had a meeting. You were in the meeting, Blake, me, you, Charlie, and some other folks. And he was going to dinner, and he said, hey, you're going to dinner with Blake and Danny. He said, Blake is my secret weapon. He's the smartest man I know. And he loved you. And for anybody to suggest, whether it's Candace Owens or any other person within TPUSA was somehow complicit in his murder, is to say that Charlie Kirk was such a bad judge of character that he put a bunch of traitors around him. If there's anything I knew about Charlie Kirk, is he knew how to spot talent and integrity and people that wanted to make a difference for the Lord and the country.
It's all just so unconvincing and emotionally manipulative. It's so obvious. Like Charlie said that Blake Neff was the smartest person in the world. So you should just accept that. Okay. And that's what he told me. By the way, he had a very busy night before. He told Josh Hammer that his book was the greatest thing and everyone should buy Josh Hammer's book. He had that meeting. Then he had a meeting with Frank Turek and he was like, Blake Neff is the smartest person and nobody should question Blake Neff. It was a lot. Like they're telling us everything he said the night before, except for when he texted you guys and said that he thought they were going to kill him. Can we get to that part? Okay, we get it. Mikey's amazing. Blake Neff's the smartest dude we know. It's right here in the Bible. Can we get to the part of the evening before when Charlie said they are going to kill him, which maybe took place after all of that, all of the compliments that were paid? Guys, please stop. It's so fake and gay. It hurts me. It hurts me. It physically is hurting me. The level of fakeness and gayness that we are reaching at Turning Point USA is starting to make me go, ow, okay? Please, I'm asking nicely. Can you give us something authentic? Because that's not going to cut it. That's just not going to cut it. How dare you question the ghost of Charlie Kirk? Are you suggesting that Charlie could have possibly not had good judgment? Am I suggesting that I've maybe watched a lot of hours of IDTV and it seems like, yeah, it's a kind of a common theme that when people die, you should question the people closest to them? Actually, yeah, I am suggesting that it's like a very high percentage of murders that are committed by somebody else that they know. I think it's like north of 95% of murders. And no matter how many adjectives you assign to people at Turning Point USA, we're not going to accept this narrative, okay? We're not going to accept this narrative, especially when you're lying and you won't tell us the relevant portions. Who did he think was going to kill him? Andrew Colvett? Can you tell us, Andrew? Can you tell us, Blake Neff? Can you tell us, Mikey McCoy? Or was he just full of fluff? Just full of fluff at the end. Really just wanted Josh Hammer's book to be sold. You're bad at this. You want to know why you're bad at this? Because you're inauthentic. That's why. You're inauthentic. If you start telling the truth, you won't struggle with this issue. Nobody accepts this, okay? In other news and emotional manipulation, Tim Pool is having some sort of a breakdown. I don't really know what it's about. I don't know why he's tweeting about me all the time. I hope he gets well, but I do want to address this absurd point that he is making about why we shouldn't be speaking about Charlie Kirk's assassination. Take a listen.
You can come and you can burn everything I have to the ground and I will happily live in a van down by the river. I don't care to be number one. I don't need to be number one. What I care about is what is true and what will help this country and what works. And she is a scumbag, okay? And she's getting worse every day. And she crossed the line. She continually crosses the line every day, insinuating that Turning Point literally killed the guy who made them all rich. And I hear this in the streets, and at a certain point, I'm like, holy shit, we're gonna lose the midterms. We're gonna lose the midterms. Then we're gonna lose in 2028, and it's because she's a piece of shit. Because instead of saying, guys, let's come together and figure out how to work together, she says the stupidest, retarded crap. And now everybody's running around divided and broken. For what reason? For literally what reason?
Because they killed Charlie Kirk in broad daylight and we don't care about your stupid midterms. We just don't care. Like, they really, this is how they view Charlie Kirk. That's why I say, was anything in his life real? Tim Pool is going off right now because he's like, it's not the time. You guys need to be mules. You need to keep voting in the very corrupt people that are lying to your faces right now about what happened to Charlie Kirk. It is not the time because it is your job to get people into office. This is what I mean when I suggest that nothing in Charlie Kirk's life was real. So he really thinks he's doing something there. And actually what he's doing is proving my point. These people just saw Charlie as a means to an end. Okay, as a political horse that they could ride. And so for whatever reason, they got tired riding him. And now they're angry because they also were going to whip the horse, the ghost of Charlie Kirk, and say, we still need you to shore up votes. And it is inconvenient that people who actually cared about Charlie and saw him as a, I don't know, human being, want to know why he was publicly executed in front of us and why we're being lied to about everything. That is why Tim Pool is upset, because midterms, it's going to be my fault, not the fault of the feds for feeding us BS. It's not going to be the fault of Turning Point USA for lying and thinking that they're brighter than us and seemingly not caring about the investigation. It's not going to be the fault of, I don't know, maybe actual politicians like Donald Trump, who's a president of the United States, and look us in the face and said, are we still talking about the Epstein files? No, that's not his fault. The fault is Candace Owens for wanting to figure out who murdered her friend. Don't you guys get it? Like, we're just an algorithm. why do you care so much about humans? Like, why are you a human? Like, if somebody in your family dies, you need to focus on midterms. Okay? That is the point of a Tim Pool show. It doesn't matter what you are going through at home. I want you guys to hear this, okay? I don't care if you have family members that are dying, family members who have died, if you have children that you care about and you maybe don't want to live in a world that's run by pedophiles. You need to put that all aside and vote for whoever the hell Tim Pool tells you to vote for. I just want to platform that idea. I think obviously there's something wrong with me, and Tim Pool's got it figured out. His soul seems like it's really intact and it's not for sale at all. Anyways, we'll take a quick break and get into your comments. Also, of course, want to tell you guys about Nimi Skincare because it is cold outside. December is here, the weather is dry, and if you are anything like me, your skin is probably feeling it. This is the time of the year when we all need a little extra help keeping our skin moisturized, healthy, and glowing. And let me tell you guys that I love what Nimi Skincare is doing this Christmas season because while every other brand tiptoes around on eggshells trying to be inclusive with their happy holidays messaging, Nimi said, absolutely not. Their entire website is decked out for Christmas. It's bright, it's joyful, it's unapologetic, and I could not be more here for it. Now, if you are wondering what I am personally using right now, Tennessee winters are no joke and my skin can get dry pretty fast. So I've been using Nimi's Sunshine Tallow Cream paired with their Buzzin' Tallow Balm. And honestly, my skin has never been softer. There's no dryness, no cracking, just rich moisture that lasts all day. These formulas are clean, they're simple, and they work. And yes, these make incredible gifts for the conservative women in your life who appreciate great skincare and American-made values. Moms, sisters, daughters, grab a few and you will thank me later. So here's the deal. Use code Candace10 for 10% off your order at NIMIskincare.com. That's NIMIskincare.com. And do not wait. Get your skin the care that it needs this winter. Treat yourself, grab a couple of gifts, and support a brand that actually stands for something this Christmas season. Also want to tell you guys about American Financing because what if you could delay your next 2 mortgage payments? That's right. Imagine putting those 2 payments instead in your pocket and finally getting a little breathing room ahead of the holidays. It is possible when you call American Financing today. So if you're feeling stretched by everyday expenses, groceries, gas, and bills that are piling up, you are not alone. Most Americans are putting these expenses on credit cards, and credit card rates are insane in the 20s, even 30s. American Financing can show you how to use your home's equity to pay off that debt with rates that are in the low 5s. Their salary-based mortgage consultants are helping homeowners just like you restructure their loans and save money every month, all without any upfront fees. Their customers are saving an average of $800 a month, which is like a $10,000 a year raise without even having to change jobs. So call American Financing today. The number is 800-795-1210. That's 800-795-1210, or visit AmericanFinancing.net/Owens. That's AmericanFinancing.net/Owens. People in the comments are out here calling Tim Pool Beanie Shapiro. Man, I hope that doesn't stick. Anyways, you guys, if you'd like to support our show, I'm reminding you that Make Him a Sandwich is now on sale. It's on Amazon, which is super exciting. Also, if you want to get 20% off the book, you can go to makehimasandwich.com and buy directly from us. And we are now shipping to Canada. And if you're looking for a signed copy, that is only available at CandaceOwens.com. I need to start promoting my book more on social media. I want to get that to number 1 on Amazon. We also have some new merch on the website, which I think you guys will love. We don't know what we know in different colors, which is obviously Christmas is around the corner, so that will be fun. I was going to sign some t-shirts, but honestly, that was really hard. It's much harder than it sounds. It takes a lot of time to sign a t-shirt. And I'm reminding you guys that you can gift someone a membership to Club Candace and to our book club on the website now, which is new. You just scroll to the Want to Gift a Membership section, and you can do that. Okay, top comment from yesterday. The French are probably thinking that now would be a good time to assassinate you so they could blame it on TPUSA. Yeah, I will say that was the number top 500 comments yesterday. It was don't go to Turning Point USA, don't go to Turning Point USA. And I was actually willing to do that within reason. If we had a conversation and tried to plan it and book it. But I guess they never were being sincere, and I should have seen through that because why would they? They are very obviously not trying to open themselves up to any inspection from the public. They are working with the feds to kind of bury the Charlie Kirk story. And that, my friends, to me, represents an end of an era. It makes me think about how intentional Charlie was about saying, we want this to be a youth organization. He wants it to be fresh. He didn't want to become the RNC. In fact, he wanted to take over for the RNC with youth and a commitment to truth. And unfortunately, I think now they're trying to turn the apparatus into the same stale, buy your way into the presence of someone. You do me a favor. And it's sad, but I do think that there is goodness and that is coming from this tragedy. And that goodness is that a lot of people are waking up to how it works, how the whole system works, how the whole matrix works. Okay, comments. We have Deb Skates. That is a massive donation. Thank you so much, Deb. You wrote, you may need some help with legal fees. Yeah. Also, Tyler Boyer, fun little update, sends a text or something. They're all just so insincere. I don't know, sent an email and was like, what's your lawyer's email? What do you mean, what is my lawyer's email? You guys have my lawyer's email. Like, we were in communication 2 days ago, right? Like, what are you talking about? That is like go speak to your employees and your lawyer. You know my lawyer's email. Everybody knows my lawyer is Noah. So send whatever you're going to send. I don't care. I'm not going to lie to the people. I said what I said and I meant it, okay? I'm sorry, guys. Do I have a bad attitude today? Skylar, do I have a bad attitude today? He said I never have a bad attitude. Thank you. I knew it. Yashira Sanchez writes, Candace, I pray for you every day. A lot of people are talking about you joining the TPUSA debate, but very few talk about the pressure and the risk that comes with your boldness. Please stay alert and stay protected. Your voice is important and your safety matters. Look, if something happens to me, really what I want to say to all of you guys is go Max. Like, all of you, everyone. Let it never end. Let it never stop. Like, you be just as bold. I am telling you, it feels like when we are here on earth that this is it. Like, we just get 80 years. That is not true, okay? Your ancestors knew that there was more. We are in this simulation where they have intentionally turned us into a godless society because they want you to be fearful and they want you to exchange your soul because they are of this earthly realm. You know what I mean? These are Satan's children. Obviously, these are Satan's children. And they work by making you feel fearful. And so you trade off and you go, okay, well, I just want to have money and be comfortable in this life right now. And so I'm willing to let badness happen. And I guess my kids are just going to inherit that badness and this world is just going to be run by pedophiles. And we can't do that. And that's why I say to you guys, you should be going Max right now, you know? Yeah, you have to say the truth. The frequency of truth hits harder. And we hear these demons squealing. We just hear it. Like, you can feel it right now. And yeah, they are dangerous. They are dangerous. But the truth will win. And the truth is more powerful than the lie. And I really feel that. And I can't let my kids grow up in a world like this with these demons in control. I can't. This is not a meritocracy. We live in a matrix. Everybody just needs to wake up right now. Oh, look, Project Constitution is in the chat. He said, I have proof now that Tim Pool uses bots. Stay tuned. Receipts dropping in the next few weeks. Go Max. God bless you, Candace. It's good to see you here. You've done some great work, and hope you were okay with me editing on air. I think you thought BTU was BTT, but that's actually okay because now we can connect those two planes at the very least. Donna Barada writes, make sure you have people on your team to debate TPUSA. Don't do it solo. Negotiate a virtual meeting for safety. They're not doing that. If something happens to you, they will blame it on the French. Christ is king. Listen, just us knowing what it is and just the fact that so many people are awake to the reality that the assassination attempt was real and that if it wasn't, we should be hearing from proper channels, not Cam Higbee giggling like a little girl, a schoolgirl on the payroll of Turning Point USA. That's good, guys. That is a tremendous goodness. It is a step in the right direction. It is a step into the broader awakening. Fishroom writes, I suffered through one episode of the new Turning Point. They are fake as hell and they are hiding behind the guise of religion for political power. That much is so obvious. They cannot get through it without trying to sound like they are preachers and pastors and this is demonic and your soul will, you're not going to make it to heaven if you have questions, if you question our authority. Like, what? Huh? You're not going to make it to heaven if you side with the devil. And the devil is always lying and hiding and obscuring. The truth is free, man. It's so easy to tell the truth and to answer basic questions about that day. You're not doing that. You're not doing it at all. Seven Sheets writes, the fact that your podcast went to #1 in the world doesn't only speak to their lost narratives, it speaks more to how many people are out here craving authenticity and truth. I agree with you on that. I totally agree with you that right now we're kind of in this new era where only authenticity is going to float. everything does just genuinely feel so fake and gay and performative, and it's a show, and the fake audience applause and fake laughter. And no, I just want to see that you guys cared about him. I don't need you to keep telling me Charlie's last words, and he's got a lot of last words, man. And yeah, Charlie was also a human, so also trying to mint him as some Christ who could have never chosen wrong. Oh my God, this massive employment. I know we fire people all the time, but Charlie never chose wrong here. That doesn't even make sense. So it's a business, of course. There are snakes in the garden. When money becomes the motive, there are going to be snakes in the garden naturally as things get bigger. They open themselves up to corruption. And you guys are acting extremely corrupt in this moment, spiritually corrupt above all else, is what I would say. The person who uses the handle Gomax Candace writes, the propaganda machine isn't working on us. Thank God you aren't going in person. We pray for you daily. My hubby and I support you and the truth fully. America first, Gomax, Team Candace. And you know what? It's not just America. It's all around the world, right? You know, it's like the people first, the people globally first. We are so tired of all of it. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what changed. I don't know when the vibe shift happened where it just all feels very plastic and I just want to like push it out of my way. Like, oh, when I just saw that fakeness and gayness, I just wanted to like, oh, you know, just like punch him in the arm. I just want to punch Blake Neff in the arm or something. I don't know. Anyways, it's so fake. Curbster writes, CPUSA is now floundering up to their eyeballs in their own crappy lies and shady actions. Them treating the public as if we are as gullible as they are guilty has sealed their fate as a corrupt company full of greedy traders. I agree. And it's like, guys, we can see the influence campaign too. So please just stop doing it. Like, stop paying the influencers because it's a waste of your money beyond anything else. Like, they don't look cool. It's like not Regina George and Mean Girls. Like, don't laugh. You can't sit with us. We're the cool kids. It's so silly. Like, okay, I don't know who pulled. What was that? Who pulled that? That's hilarious. I didn't expect that. But like, I'm sorry. Who is being influenced by Cam Higbee? Show of hands. Who's just like, yeah, I gotta hang out with Cam Higbee? I just look at him and I can tell it's fake and gay. I don't know. It's like, I want nothing to do with it. I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to hang out with Adam Sosnick. So can we get to the next part? Okay, we're not invited. We can't come to the party. We can't hang out with famous people and cool people. We can't be at the Pentagon flossing like it's like the Miami Strip or something. We get it. Okay, next. Can we get something that feels real? That's what we want. We don't care, man. We just want our kids to grow up in a society that isn't ruled by gangs and criminals and people that are into kids. That's what we want, really. We'll never sit with you again. You guys can keep sitting by yourselves forever, cool kids. Can we get the real kids? I don't know. Jay-Z writes, the way they set the time and said it's confirmed. Confirmed with who? Amongst themselves. A circle of their own peers, of course. So out of touch with the people. Pasty George writes, at first, I did not like CK because he denied all the horrible things going on in the Middle East. However, after he was gone, I started to watch his videos and I saw the ones where he started to question and doubt the ones that he was standing up for. JFK asked too many questions as well. I cannot say to you enough, I get what you are saying. And Charlie was always authentic. He authentically loved Israel. And then he authentically had questions after October 7th. And then he was authentically angry and recognizing how much control was around him. And the infiltration happened. I mean, it's like they're like proud of the infiltration. They're proud of the deception. They're proud of what their money can buy. And I don't know how they could be proud. It's just so arrogant. It is so arrogant. Lastly, we have a comment from Jerome who writes, as someone who has never trusted our history books and BS explanations we get from the government about why things around the world are happening, even if it's uncovered in the US, French, and Israel were colluding and killed CK, what power do we have to fight the billionaires or the Department of Defense? The reality is like, you got to start in your home, right? Their system is a matrix. Take your kids out of school. That's the first thing I say. It made me so happy last night when I went to an event and just ran into this woman who said, we took my kids out of school and I heard your podcast and we couldn't do it. And we were tired and I have a job and he has a job and we just did it. We made it work. And that's what I did. I just did it. And I realized if my older sister was making it work and getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning at 3:45, I think she wakes up every day to be able to keep her full-time job plus homeschool her kids. But also when I saw the joy that it returned to her life, I was like, what is my excuse? Am I tired? Yes. Am I exhausted today? Yes. Today in particular, after going to an evening event last night, I woke up in bed. I was like, I just want to sleep for 1 more hour, please. But the reward and the joy of it has returned to my life. And knowing that I'm doing what I can in my own capacity to collapse the system, great. Stop taking their pills, right? That's another part, the pharmaceutical complex. Learn about that. Stop offering your children's bodies to the state. You can do that in your own capacity. We have that series, A Shot in the Dark, available on CancerKnowns.com for a reason for first-time parents. It will shock you. I guess not. If you're watching this podcast, you're going to be like, dang, I'm not surprised at all. Everything is fake and gay. But I think for a lot of us who were invested in Big Pharma years ago, it's shocking. It'll be shocking for you. Gift that to a friend. Like I said, that came from the left. The left was on it with Big Pharma long before the right was on it. Something else you can do is stop signing up your sons for war, right? Let Tim Pool rant and scream and say, who's going to fight our wars next week? Huh? What is she doing? Who's going to fight our wars? Doesn't she care? No, I don't. I don't care. Seriously, I'm so off of the government stuff. I am like, you give us honesty, you give us truth, or you can go F yourselves, all of you, everywhere, all of that, all over the world. I'm not signing up my sons as Christians to go fight and slaughter other Christians, okay? I'm not signing up my sons to believe that our biggest threat is Muslims, but we just somehow can't stop bombing innocents in their countries. We're out. We're done, okay? Send your kids, by the way. I think, Tim, you just had a child. Bless you. Hope that changes you. And, but, you know, when he comes of age, you send him. Sign up yourself. You love it so much. You love it so much. It's all about the votes, ensuring the votes. Do it. After you, my dear. After you. Or should we let Ace, the comedian, tell you how we really feel about it? Anyways, we'll see you guys tomorrow.